What's up, everybody? We got game 2 here in this scrim series between SG versus BMG. Game 1 going in SG's favor relatively quickly, and game 2 here now starting up with the banning phase just concluding, and let's finish writing these down. We've got Puppet Master Pestilence, Sir Bensington, and Rhapsody. So Swindle going back to his Bensington ban early on, and also removing Puppet Master. That leaves Ophelia open. Really, the entire jungle is available, and Hanskin banning out Rhapsody and Pestilence, obviously two of SG's preferred heroes, so not a surprise that they get removed there. But once again, the Parasite first pick, SG doing that last game as well, feeling like Parasite is the better hero here, apparently. And interesting that they're prioritizing him over Ophelia, over Tempest, over Keeper. I wonder if they're just trying to be like, let's see what we can do to shut down this Ophelia. Assuming that Hanskin is eventually going to take that hero, of course, and with the Parasite first pick on the SG side, it's almost certain they're not going to pick Ophelia for themselves. So, bit of an interesting strat here with the first pick Parasite, perhaps meant to dissuade the Ophelia pick, perhaps being like, alright, if that does come out, we can deal with it. It certainly worked last game, as they did pick up the Parasite first. No, they didn't. They banned Parasite. What am I even talking about? So, I'm a liar, but that's okay, because nobody's actually listening to me anyway. And Pharaoh comes out in the first pick for Hanskin over there, as last game it was picked up early on by SG to counter Tempest, but this game, obviously no Tempest pick, going to be coming out from SG's side as they already have the Parasite. Nonetheless, Pharaoh obviously a really strong initiator and going to be able to help do a lot of disruption in those team fights. So hopefully we'll be providing Hanskin and his team with plenty of ability to actually kill stuff. Pebble's the second pick here for Legion side. Obviously lots of magical burst damage here for Legion as a result. Probably going to be in Swindle's hands, and does provide some solid semi-carry, almost even carry potential if he gets to a certain amount of GPM. So the jump potential is definitely here from SG's side, and we'll see how well they're able to apply that. Certainly looking to pick up some more sustained damage, probably some more team fight damage, AoE damage here, as both of those are mostly single target heroes, mostly burst magic damage heroes, not tending to provide too much in terms of longer duration team fights. Once they've blown their load, so to speak, they'll sort of be done. Anyway, Torture second pick over here for Hellborn. Almost certainly be running that support roles. We really never see carry Tort anymore, and likely will be put up in Seal Kid's hands. So we'll see if Hanskin chooses to run the no jungle strat. Obviously has the potential to pick a jungler up, Ophelia, Tempest, and Keeper all on the board, and he has one more pick before the second banning stage, so plenty of ability to grab himself really a jungler and run that solo support up against the Legion side's Kinesis. Interesting. So we'll see what SG chooses to do here, but I suspect that's going to be Kinesis support. It will be the Ophelia picked up by Hanskin, so going for the tried and true strong jungle hero, and obviously that provides team fight, it provides push, it provides some ganking potential as well. So Hellborn's initiation can be really strong with Pharaoh, and with Ophelia to back it up, they have some pretty strong gank, very strong push with Torturer and Ophelia, perhaps lacking a bit in terms of AoE damage, as Torturer provides some, but really not going to rely on supports too much for that sort of thing. And we'll see. More interesting, of course, is that Kinesis. So continuing the theme of magical burst damage here is the Legion side, and I think there's certainly the ability to go overboard on that, as it's going to be really difficult for anybody on Hellborn to survive all this damage that's coming out. On the other hand, if they do, it's going to be difficult for the Legion side to follow up and clean up kills, just because they're not going to have too much sustained damage in fights, and chase potential really for that matter either. They've got the leech on Parasite, they got a stun from Pebbles and one from Kinesis, plus his slow damage, but nothing crazy coming out from them in terms of repeated stuns or significant slows, especially not like the Hellborn side. Mummy Walls, Hellfire, chain reactions, multiple slows, and stuns from Ophelia creeps. So, . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Second stage of bans come out as Hellborn prioritize the supports, Enchi, Nymphora, and Bubbles getting taken out. Obviously, no support hero even quite yet for Z-Freak, assuming that that's going to be a Suicide Kinesis, which isn't necessarily something you should assume. Kinesis can certainly run at a support role, and does pretty well as that anyway. So we'll see what they choose for the last pick. It is the Tundra 4th pick, and that's going to provide some strong Suicide or mid potential. I suspect we'll see a Suicide Tundra here. For some reason, that just feels like a limp pick to me, and I don't think Kinesis has a particularly good ability to Suicide, and I don't think that Swindle's too interested in trying that strat. They certainly could, but definitely some out-of-the-box heroes for SG. We don't see them run Tundra very much. We see almost nobody run Kinesis, so absolutely an out-of-the-box pick there, but we'll see. I think at this point, the Hawk is going to be real good. The Hawk obviously synchronizing very well with Parasite, providing a lot of team synergy there, and that's really, really powerful. So going to provide vision all over the map for Pebbles, Parasite, even Kinesis to do it and get some ganks off. So this is going to be a pretty big issue for the Hellborn side. More and more, though, this Legion lineup is developing into more of a mid-game team. Now, the Hellborn haven't exactly picked up a late-game carry yet. Certainly, it looks like that it would be in the hands of Fuzi. 7 seconds left here for Hanskin, so he's going to decide relatively soon if he wants to pick up 3 Madman. So probably going to be in the hands of Jonas and Fan there, so likely getting their Suicide as well. Well, on the other hand, they already have Pharaoh, and that's a common Suicide, so I'm suspecting we'll see a hard carry babysit in the top lane with Torture providing strong zoning support because he is very good at that. Pharaoh in the Suicide lane, or Pharaoh in the mid lane, and Madman in the Suicide lane with Ophelia in the jungle, so that would put a pseudo tri-lane top, which would be pretty strong. Silhouette being soft pick here. I really hope I don't pick that. Bushwhack could be interesting. Yeah, that is going to be the Bushwhack. So obviously, once again, a hero that we almost never see. But that will provide some late game potential, almost certainly going to end up in the hands of Chessie over there. And he can carry fairly hard. Not the hardest, really. And it's going to end up being a support Kinesis, it looks like here. Not the hardest, really, but you know, there's definitely some potential there. And going to be the Moon Queen, so no surprise there that they go for a more of a harder carry for Fuzi. And Josephine going to be playing Madman or Pharaoh? I suspect it's going to be the Madman. Yep, there it is. So we'll see how the lanes develop here, but for the most part they're looking pretty standard. Limp in the top lane as a solo in the Suicide role. Parasite could go aggro or own jungle. I think he'll go aggro jungle to try to mess with Ophelia like they did last or in previous games. Not last game, but probably a Bushwhack solo bot in the carry role. Ophelia in her own jungle, going up against that Parasite probably, who is going to be contesting with the boots here. I suspect this is going to be a very active Parasite, so almost no doubt here that it will be an aggressive jungle Parasite. Some stuff out here in these forums, trying to make sure I get everything right. So we'll see what the Legions choose to do. They could sort of mess some things up here, but Hellborn lanes are pretty obvious. Like I said, Tort, Moon Queen top, KGE in the middle on that Pharaoh, and Jonas and Van Suicide with Ophelia in the jungle. I suspect we'll see Minus in the aggressive jungle trying to mess with Ophelia. It looks like they're going to send the aggressive dual lane top with Kinesis and Pebbles, which is a little surprising.
I need your aid.
That's new. And honestly, I don't hate this. Getting rid of Moon Queen's ability to take on early farm, because this is going to be, they have to contest Moon Queen. Whenever you see a Moon Queen picked up, you have to contest it early on. You cannot just get him in a free farm, and the Suicide Tundra would definitely do that. So I think they originally planned to have a dual lane mid and the Suicide Tundra, but once they saw the Moon Queen pick, they're like, we need to switch this up. We cannot give Tundra the Suicide lane because he'll get zoned so hard by Torture. We need to have this turn into a dual lane, and we'll end up putting Pebbles and Kinesis spot, which I think was their intended middle lane. But once they saw the MQ, they're like, there's no way we can not do this. As a result, I think this is going to be a much better lane up top here for the Legion side, and it's going to prevent the Hellborn from being able to take off on this Pebbles as much as they would think. And of course, Parasite in the aggressive jungle. Gonna mess with Moon Queen a bit. So Torture not quite up here, a little quite yet. Obviously, Kinesis gonna continually throw stuff at Moon Queen's face and harass her as much as possible. Does have quite a bit of regen here, 3 tangos and a health pot, but once again with Parasite in the woods, gonna be doing a lot to mess with these camps, to mess with Ophelia and to gank this Moon Queen. Middle leg going to be Tundra versus Pharaoh. Should be a relatively even matchup. Pharaoh perhaps having a slight advantage just because Hellfire is so damn powerful, especially against a solo hero. So I expect Pharaoh to do pretty well in this lane, very, very possibly win it. Limp sort of back to his old tricks as he was in TDM, aka SGEU, as he did play the mid role in that team. Up top, we're going to see, looks like Torture off to the side looking for some harass. Will get some out of Pebbles, and he could be harassed out pretty effectively in the lane over here. Ophelia level 1, and chain reactions are there on top of the Moonbeam, and Pebble's going to be able to run away. Looking for the Minotaur Stomp there, not going to find it, obviously. So early gank there, not quite successful, but forcing Pebbles to take a health pot. They do get lane control on the Legion side, so that'll be some nice farms for Swindle here. Bot lane Bushwhack versus Madman. Bushwhack should actually have a fairly decent time zoning this Madman, because with the dot damage like that from the jungle from the dart, and the continuous auto attacks, even having the stock and running around like that may not be the most effective thing for this Madman. So he could get zoned out very easily. Has 5 tangos and a health pot though, so it's unlikely he's ever going to have to go to base, just because Bushwhack isn't really, even with the continuous dart application, not really the kind of hero that can continuously harass as much as possible, or as much as is going to be necessary for that. So we'll see how this works out. But at this point, I think I'm favoring Hellborn. A little more of a traditional lineup. I think the Kinesis definitely has a chance to be a strong support hero, and I don't oppose their use of it, really, fundamentally, but we haven't really seen it yet, so I'm not exactly sure how strong Kinesis can be at this point. Not to mention this top lane, they won't have a lot of lane control. They're going to have to mess with Torture quite a lot here as their ward blocking the pull did get countered relatively early. Ophelia off to the side. Wild Hunter to be taken here by Parasite, which actually helps Oph a little bit because she can't take over those Wild Hunters, I don't think. It's just because they're magic immune, I believe that they're not able to be commanded. And we'll see how this goes, but I really would not be surprised to see the laning phase go pretty heavily in favor of Hellborn, just because I feel like they should mostly win this top lane. Moon Queen is going to have some issues here, but she still is in her short lane. She's got Torture to back her up. The burst damage is what she has to really be concerned about. And now that Pebbles is level 3, he's got his combo. He's at 240 mana, which means he can hit both the Chuck and the Toss, or the Son of the Toss. MQ could have some issues in this lane. On the other hand, she is level 4, Torture level 2. And with the backup and the continuous pulling, they should have enough lane control to at least get her off to a decent start. Only 200 gold per minute at this point, but the thing about Moon Queen is you have to keep her down continuously for about 15 minutes. And if you don't do that, she will recover. It's going to help, because I honestly don't think that they're going to be able to do that, especially with the Ophelia in the woods. Parasite's going to provide not quite as much as Oph will, because Parasite can't provide as continuous stuns, the slows, and of course the send back on Ophelia could be pretty helpful as well when it comes to keeping that Moon Queen alive. See Freak stealing a CS there. But you know, even though Fuzi's getting backed off this top lane, which is really good because, you know, this is something that SG needs to do. They need to control this Moon Queen as early and as long as possible. I feel like Pharaoh should win the middle lane. He's at 296 gold per minute right now, Limp at 278, so Pharaoh's slightly ahead, not particularly surprising. Tundra does have a level advantage a bit. He is 6. Piercing Shards going down. As Tundra does have his bottle. So does Pharaoh. So I assume the reason for this level disparity is Pharaoh going to grab a rune. Ophelia actually going to the aggressive jungle here now, feeling like she's getting forced out of her own woods, and that's actually a pretty big deal because Oph's only level 2, and these are really two heroes you need to keep down as early and as often as possible in Ophelia and Moon Queen. They're just so damn good if they are relatively uncontested, and the fact that they have two of them on the same team is quite a tall order for SG, but they're doing a pretty solid job of addressing both the Ophelia and the Moon Queen, with obviously forcing Ophelia to the aggressive jungle. Tundra perhaps in some trouble here, but obviously level 2 Moon Queen not going to be able to do too much. Tundra having access to the Avalanche, not enough mana for both Avalanche and Piercing Shards, but I mean, level 2 Ophelia just really not that frightening. We'll use this Catman to farm a little bit. Madman, meanwhile, going to camp this bot rune at 6 minutes, and up top, Parasite will camp this one, so let's see who gets the luck. It is Madman on bot. He has the bottle, it is Illusions. Ophelia continuing to farm with the Skeleton King, and on bottom, Jessie at 297 gold per minute, leaving, apparently. Not really feeling comfortable with where he is. Will spot Madman out here, but Madman has no mana. So, interesting that Jessie's leaving this lane. Perhaps going to look for this Ophelia as they figure, okay, Oph's now in our woods, so we can go mess with her. And she's only level 3. The issue is she has a Skeleton King, so the Skeleton King that could mess with Bushwhack quite a bit. Madman Illusions as they're going to spot each other off the side. Off the top, Swindle going to drop as he throws the stun out, but the Wrath of Pharaoh coming back in as Super KG has ported. Z-Freak trying to live here, but the Mummy Walls are not available. 2 seconds, and this is going to be a death on Z-Freak, as well as Torturers coming in. Off to the side, Tundra's looking for something as well. Z-Freak kind of trying to turn this on Torturer. He's going to use the Inherent Defense, but actually on bottom, Jessie gets dropped. Just everything's going down here, so Dust of Revelation goes out. Illusions from Madman help. Up top, Z-Freak's in a lot of trouble. He'll die there. The chain reactions from Steel Kid. Over here, Tundra's on the run. We've got Parasite leaving as well. He's got enough health and mana to probably make it out of here alive, but Moon Queen gotta have a Moonbeam soon. Leech gets thrown down, but the Tormented Soul hits Tundra, and he's gonna have to continue to run. Moonbeam available soon? Nope, not gonna happen. Parasite gonna infest this Archer, and we'll just run it away. A couple auto attacks there helping out. And Tormented Soul is available. Is he gonna get it? Does hit him. So, bye Limp. As it's a level 4 Tormented Soul. Wow, doing a lot of damage. So, Hellborn get 4-0 on hero kills. And that's real bad. 7.5 minutes into this game, and we've already taken... They really haven't taken a substantial lead, but the fact that they're able to get that many kills across the entire map was a pretty big deal. They dropped everybody except for this Parasite. And obviously Chessie on the bottom, not doing particularly well. 270 GPM. Pebbles on top, the top farmer for the Legion side, but well below this Pharaoh, as well as just a little bit below the Madman. And already things not looking great for this SG side. The one thing that's really, or the two things that are really going well for them, the fact that Moon Queen still only has 210 gold per minute, and Ophelia's sitting here level 4 at 137. So she's having a real suffer time here in the woods is Hanskin. So if that continues, things could go very well for SG. Pebbles level 6 now, using his ultimate. And MQ just hasn't been able to get any CS. She's at 23-2. She's the 3rd highest CS on her own team. Just barely above, actually, there's Wrath of the Pharaoh on top of the Moonbeam ultimate. We're going to put a bunch of damage onto Pebbles, and he will drop, trying to get the counter kill onto Pharaoh in the background. He's not going to take it, though. Inherent Defense doing a lot to help keep Kinesis alive, but not nearly enough, so that's another couple of kills there. As actually, Fuzi's taking a bunch of damage, and they take the tower aggro onto Seal Kid. Both of them are extremely low. Hanskin trying to take it himself. Both MQ and Torture not doing so well. On the middle lane, Tundra and Madman going out a little bit, but Madman not going to be able to get the kill as Tundra has a little too much health and mana to deal with there. Parasite the 100 sitting around looking for something, but not going to find it. 6-0 hero kill advantage here in favor of BMG. And it's a little scary. Man on bottom lane is being out-leveled here by this Bushwhack and out-farmed, as Jonathan Pan's at 264 GPM compared to Chessie's 296, but I mean, you'll take that every day of the week. 280 gold per minute now on Jonas, compared to just under 300 by Chessie. That's not as nearly as substantial a difference as you would normally expect from a suicide solo lane matchup. And Jonas is doing real well down here. Chessie doing alright, but not great. Is now the top farmer on his game as Swindle died for the second time. And he continues to basically have uninterrupted farm down here. Obviously one time there was a gank from Ophelia, and the illusions on Madman helped out. Barrel roll here as Chessie's going to be in some trouble. Puts the dart down, but Madman's going to chase him. There's a stock once again. Has access to the barrel roll again in a couple of seconds. We'll see what happens. Parasite coming in off to the side, providing some assistance. He's going to continue chugging the bottle. Will spot minus on that Parasite. Off to the side, we got Pharaoh looking for yet another initiation here up top. So on the bottom, barrel roll going to go on, and Chessie once again just harassing. And Pharaoh's looking for a jump as they want to continue to mess with this pebble. So honestly, I've been talking about making sure you keep Moon Queen down. Just as big a deal on the side, actually, as Jonas dies. So he's going in for Chessie, but there's the face hug. Can't do anything, and the mid tower actually drops thanks to Tundra. But up top, we're going to see an initiation here. Pharaoh's obviously still off the side, looking for the Wrath opening. We'll get it on the Pebbles. Bork coming in as well, though. He's popping trebles in the Mummy Walls. Going to be an easy kill there. Tundra coming in on top of the Mummy Walls as well. Hellfire eating him a bunch. Going to get a counter kill on the Seal Kid, but he's probably going to pay for this with his life. Tormentors are going out. Z-Freak putting a bunch of damage out with that, but the Moonbeam going to help finish off Tundra here. And now Z-Freak's perhaps in a little bit of trouble overstepping as he's going to get chased down. Mummy Walls go out, and he's trapped, trying to get the counter kill on Fuzi, and will grab it, so that's actually worth it. As that fight ends in a 3-for-2 in favor of BMG. I wonder. Chessie on drops on bot, so. Oh, Chessie, man. Way too low. As for some reason, this Ward of Sight did not spot Madman. I'm shocked it did not spot Madman. So like I was saying earlier, you know, I've been emphasizing that they need to keep the Moon Queen down. They absolutely do, but just as important is getting Pebbles built up. This is also a hero that'll snowball really effectively, and if he doesn't, you know, if he doesn't get a relatively early portal key and strong farm in the early game in the laning phase, he's not going to transition particularly well. A later on portal key is going to prevent how many heroes he can actually jump and kill. It's going to require more team involvement when he does get a kill. Moonbeam going out there on Kinesis doing a bunch of damage. There's the ultimate as well, and Z-Freak's going to drop off to the side. Hasted Pharaoh coming in, looking for Swollen kill. Pops the Mummy Walls and the Hellfire. Going to get chain reaction stun. Torture and Pellet going off as well. Wrath and Pharaoh going to help finish off. One more. Oh my god, Hasted Pharaoh running in, looking for the kill. Will get it, and is he going to be able to run out of here? Seal Kid is going to live, but Doer's Blessing there. And haste still there, not going to happen. So that ends up being 1-for-1 trade off to the side. They're looking for a jump. That was KG, sorry. I saw Seal Kid. Face hug on top of the leech there, and Seal Kid's going to take a bunch of damage here. Will infest the Wild Hunter there, take the invis, and they're continually looking for something, but he'll just run away as there are 3 heroes here, and probably doesn't want to continue chasing that, so good man down, I think, there from Minuts. Bot tower going to be put in a lot of danger, as Joseph fans nearly finished pushing it in as well in deny range. Piercing shards there.
I need your aid.
Tundra off to the side, or Chessie off to the side, looking for a jump here. Plus the jungle dart down there, looking to hit this Madman. Yep, they found him. And the dart again. Stock is available, but they're going to see him running through. Piercing shards go out, and Madman should be okay as he's able to run away. A little scot-free. Difficult to find that hero and actually kill him. Bot tower here will be denied by Limp, and that's the second tower kill of the game, of course, as he already took out middle tower, and as she get a deny on that one. So well done there. Still down a little bit in both gold and experience, and Pebbles off to the side, looking to be in some trouble. Eats the stock. Give me the barrel roll in second. Pharaoh's here as well, but so is a lot of the Legion team. Barrel roll going out of the 2. Stalagmites will miss. And as Parasite's off to the side, looking for the counter jump. If Pharaoh decided to jump in, of course, had the Wrath of the Pharaoh available, so plenty of initiation potential there. Off to the side, Leech going to get eaten here by Madman, but he'll just bottle up that refreshment rune and be totally fine. Kinesis grabbing the illusions up top. We'll throw them off to the side. Torture going to help kill them with Moon Queen and just be like, alright, that was useless. Top tower push coming in, as the piercing shard is going to help counter it a little bit, but there's definitely not going to stop that as the impalement and the level 4 ultimate, or level 4 command Ophelia creeps come in. Vagabond leader getting pretty damn low here, as he actually will snipe it with the hatchet. It's a bit unfortunate, but Torture having the impalement up again right now. It is level 4, so this top tower is now in a lot of trouble. And are they going to jump this Cold Shoulder there on the Moon Queen, plus the Avalanche Port coming in? We're going to see who it is. Probably, or Chessie coming in as well. Moon Ultimate getting dropped, but she drops before. That's Hanskin going to die here as well. Leech on the Steel Kid, and he's also going to get picked off. So that ends up being a 3 for nothing. Tower here obviously is defended in middle. Z-Freak in some trouble. Will actually get the kill on Jodas Fan before he dies, so nice to play there on Kinesis. And Z-Freak. Hawk going to scout out Pharaoh here, and he's going to have to try to run away. Puts the mummy walls down, and Hellborn team going to have to, or Legion team going to have to run to the side. Jonas will. Yeah, KG, you got to run away. David, nope, no stuns. So barely able to port that out there is Super KGE, and he will be fine. Legion side with a good fight back on top though, as they once again kill Fuzi, and clean up Hanskin and Steel Kid on top of that. 290 GPM on Fuzi, so he's starting to come back a little bit here. 15 minutes in, still no portal key here on Pebbles. He's probably not going to have it for a couple of minutes at least. Depends on whether he continues to get jumped or not, as Swindle is getting punished a little bit. I think no doubt the right play, once again, that they sent that dual lane top is just, you can't really do that and expect Swindle to get great farm, because with the Ophelia in her own woods, even despite the aggressive jungle parasite, that's just what was going to happen. Like you can't run an aggressive dual lane top there and expect to do it for it to do well. Madman coming in here with the ultimate and the barrel roll, going to get stun tossed and take a bunch of damage, but now Pebble's like, alright, I don't want this anymore. Stock available once again. Word of Rev goes down, so they'll be able to see him. As Z-Freak's here. Madman going to bottle up, look for this Madman in fact, as the rest of the Legion side is available. And Pharaoh walking right by that Word of Rev. Gotta be careful. Uh-oh. He's on top of it. He's definitely in range. They're going to get him. Yep, there's a combination, and Super KG going to get completely bursted down.
Destroyed a Legion tower.
Up top, tower does fall as both MQ and Tort push it in. Jonah's still in a bit of a compromising position, stalking through there. Going to try to get the counter kill there, and will use a station smash there to actually stun Madman, but he's still in a lot of trouble as Swindlemelon's trying to run away. Energizer gets popped. One more hit. Wow. Leech goes out there. Stock going through once again. Swindle, run, buddy. And the jukes, man. The jukes are huge there from Pebbles. Up top, Tundra going to jump in on Seal Kid, and there goes Jesse as well, so this is going to be easy to pick on Torture, as he just has no health. 720 damage, or health, and no investments or anything, obviously, so balls going out there. Once again, we don't care, because we'll just skip straight through it. State of the game right now, gold is relatively even, experience pretty substantially in favor of the Legion side, as they've managed to pull this game back from the brink. They were in a position that they could have lost extremely hard about 5 or 15 minutes, 10 minutes ago. Sorry, jump here on to Super KG, puts the only walls up and the Hellfire, gonna jump back in, and just tosses Parasite in the air saying, hey, you should go for a ride. As Super KG and Seal Kid both walk away, nobody dying. But they were down a little bit in golden experience, and up against Ophelia, Torture, Moon Queen, the pushing power that possesses, with the carry potential that possesses, that could snowball extremely hard on you. And considering that Swindle didn't really have very good farm as well, he just has picked up his portal key now, so that is obviously very positive. But with how badly Pebbles was getting punished, Minuts wasn't doing particularly great. Even Chessie not farming very well. This game could have gone extremely differently if they hadn't been able to get a couple of key picks, win a very important fight at that top tower. If they had dropped 1 or 2 heroes there, perhaps just exchanged, stayed even, then this could have continued to get really bad, and BMG might have been able to start to push an end. But I know we're only 19 minutes into the game, but that's what Moon Queen will do to you, man. You start taking team fights. You're like you win it to one team fight or one small engagement, 1 3-on-4, 1 2-on-3. Then you win a little bigger one, then you win a little bigger one, and all of a sudden you're taking 5-on-5 engagements, which result in 2 tower deaths. Especially with an Ophelia on your team, as mid tower will drop relatively easily. Tundra jumping in there, and Pebbles jumping in there, and Parasite jumping in. Huge burst on the Fuzi. Get him down before he can do anything. Dust goes off onto a bunch as Parasite infests here. Swindlemone's going to go down on the background. Siegfried getting chased down, will get killed by Johnson Fan. Wall's going off there. Ophelia going to drop in the meantime. Parasite running away, trying to live, is going to. Chessie off to the side, looking for a jump onto anybody, too, perhaps. Joseph Fan and Pharaoh both looking for an initiation onto him, and Tundra is here, perhaps to get this madman. Will he live? He barrel rolls in. He has a bunch of mana now thanks to the power supply. And Jonas, where are you going, buddy? Looks like he's going to live. So ends up being, I believe, a 2-for-2 there, as both Swindle and Z-Freak died in exchange for Fuzi and Ophelia, so definitely a favorable trade here for the Legion side. Any fight that ends up with Oph and Moon Queen dying it's kind of hard to say it's not a good one. Especially if the only 2 heroes you lose are Swindle and Z-Freak. Your support, and really Pebbles, who is valuable, and you want him to get farm, but once he's got his portal key, he has his big item. Everything after that is not really gratuitous or unnecessary, but complementary, I think, is a good item. A good word for it. Regen going to be picked up here by Parasite. Going to try to run away. Is getting caught out a bit here by... And there's Moon Queen ultimate? Nope, just going to go for the straight auto attacks. Probably should have dropped the ulti, because now Parasite's going to live. Permanent Soul not quite being able to finish off Minuts here, and he will Infestive Ultra Lord. Almost killed himself there. That was real close. As he popped the Bullet Chalice before he did so. But that was a guaranteed kill if Moon Queen had dropped the ultimate there, not wanting to throw it, wanting to save it. I understand that mentality, but it's the cooldown here. 140 seconds, that's reasonably substantial. But he's getting jumped so far on these wings. Hans can oversee it in the meantime. Will be jumped by Tundra. So he freaks here as well. An easy kill. Despite all the Minotaurs over to the side, stunning Pebbles and not really letting him do anything other than throw stalagmites, he's going to die. Jonas Fan off to the side. Will be able to get a kill on Pebbles, or huge dukes once again. Moon Queen ultimate coming in off to the side. Will get Steel Kid. Actually, he dies to Limp, excuse me. And Limp going to pay for that now. As once again, Pebbles with the huge dukes, managing to get away from Jonas Fan on that Madman, and now Z-Freak's like, what do I do? Where do I go? You go to death. You go to death. So 2-for-2 exchange there, both supports dropping, and Ophelia and Tundra there. So relatively even trade, I think, at this point, with Limp at 300 GPM and Hanske at 214, perhaps even favoring the Hellborn, considering how badly Ophelia is doing right now. Just not a lot of farm. Strong pushing potential, of course, and they've used that to some extent, taking down 4 towers so far, but not exactly the typical Oath game we're used to seeing, where she's just a force of nature, literally.
The Legion
Get it?
destroyed a Hellborn tower.
Lots of her getting pushed in by the creep, so that's nice. Because she uses like the actual like natural animals and stuff like that to okay. It's very important to me that people understand my stupid jokes. Anyway, 250 gold per minute, 215 gold per minute here on Hanskin is just, meh. It's fine. And Oph's a hero that can do well without that, because, you know, even she has the triple Minotaur or something like that, right? So she's got, okay, she has the Skeleton King and double Minotaur, so that's the actual perfect number 1. I want that combination. Joseph Fan in the bottom lane, gonna be in a little trouble. Tundra gonna be able to jump him as, oh god, he went invis. There's the dust though. Will get the avalanche off and the cold shoulder. He'll stay in a lot of trouble. Tons of burst damage coming off there. And actually the port will not go through, obviously, as he's just like, what do I do? So Jonas on bottom getting picked. Obviously dust being brought by Tundra there, very important. Parasite going the puzzle box route here, as once again Minot's opting not to pick up a Codex. This is a situation, probably a game where he could have gone a Codex with a relatively easy or good timing. And I wonder if this is what SG is doing. They're thinking like, Puzzle Box Parasite is extremely powerful at this point. And I don't disagree with that. I think it is a powerful combination. I'm not sure if it's more powerful than the Codex Parasite, but it's certainly doing pretty well here. And did well for them the last time they played it, I believe, against Sync Esports, where they picked it up relatively early and turned it into a win. I should mention that I think last game I mentioned that I had casted a game between, or a series of games between Sync and SG, and I just recently learned that all of those games were in fact the King of the Hill matches, and that's why Breaky was in them. And I was like, why is Breaky in these? But I don't seem to be able to find a Scrimcast. It's because they weren't scrims, that was the King of the Hill matches. So I said, screw it, not worth putting these up, not worth including them in the stats. They're not scrims, they're King of the Hill matches, and that's why you won't be able to find them if you were looking for them. And I'm very annoyed because I took a couple of hours out of my day to cast 4 matches, and it turns out they've already been casted, so pity me. Jonas fan up top, Invis Rune is generally okay. Wrath the Pharaoh coming in here on the Swindle, and he chucks out the Pharaoh actually, puts the Sun down, and KG can get bursted really easily. Swindle off the side, gonna take a bunch of damage just from that Moonbeam. Obviously the Puzzle Box there doing a bunch of damage to Moon Queen as well, so we'll see if that's the counter. Moon Queen gonna get jumped here as well. Man, gets totally wrecked. Hanskin's the next money on the list as he's in a lot of trouble. Joseph coming back in, will kill the Courier, but not too great, as that's just mildly okay. Z-Freak gonna drop a Ward of Rev here so they can find Jonas. Meanwhile, off to the side, Seal Kid trying to do something, but he's gonna get killed pretty easily. Z-Freak still trying to evade Jonas fan up here. Bound Eye there on Parasite, and they're actually gonna kill Jonas, and that's a genocide. Mine, it's a quad kill. So that was a pretty crazy fight, and it ended up with the Legion side losing only Swindle, killing the entire Hellborn team. And now they're up 6k gold and 13k experience. 14k experience. As I also apparently stopped being able to talk during some time in that fight. So sorry if my enunciation wasn't as unclear as it usually is, which is very often the case. And was in fact even less clear than it usually is. That skunk is shooting ice out of its tail. It's pretty. Oh god, no, it's dead. What did I do? I looked at it and it died. Puzzle box will continue to be upgraded here by Parasite as he's in a something, so no, he's not something. Puzzle box 2. So now that I think about it, I wonder if this is a decision consciously made because they're fighting a Moon Queen and not because they think that not necessarily because they think the puzzle box build is better on Parasite. Obviously Moon Queen unable to control her Moonbeam bounces, unable to control her multi-strike bounces. Helping the puzzle box model, puzzle box wizard gives you 2 other creeps that can absorb damage there and sort of mitigate it to your own heroes. And of course, if she kills the puzzle box mauler, which is reasonably likely considering the fact that she can't control her bounces, she will take a bunch of damage, 800 damage or something like that, I believe, at level 3. You can see the mauler in the last fight, just she killed it and took a bunch of damage as a result. Tundra Hawk gonna be over here, and we'll get spotted by this Word of Rev, but boy, Torture, you're just totally dead. One last auto attack there. Wrath coming in out of Parasite, and he's in a lot of trouble as he got spotted, obviously. Moonbeam will go down there, and Parasite gonna drop here. Puts the puzzle box minions up, but it's obviously not gonna make a huge difference. Z-Freak off to the side, getting caught a little bit. Stuns Ophelia there, but Jonas fan not gonna come back in. 1-for-1 trade there going in favor of Hellborn as they lose their support for the opposing team's jungler. Pebbles looking for a more initiation here. KG gonna get caught. Puzzle box minions going down once again. That's gonna be a jump onto Pharaoh. Off to the side, Tundra is gonna pop his stiff, looking for a kill onto Ophelia, and there goes the Cold Shoulder. Does have the Avalanche. There it is. Finally, I was waiting for it. Hanskin will also drop. So the continuous fighting coming down here for Legion side, looking really good. And I didn't see what happened to the Bound Eye. As it might have been killed. Hellborn Anxious will be cleaned up, so that ended up being a 1-for-3 in favor of Legion as Parasite dropped, but the Legion side ended up taking 3 kills for it in Hanskin, Super KGE, and Seal Kid. Fuzi continuing to expand his farm though, 370 gold per minute, and this is like 462 GPM on Bushwhack. That's great. He's sitting on Searing Light here, really good farming mechanism on top of his Shokin head, so it's going to be harder for him to get killed in these fights. Going to be able to sit out there and dish out a whole bunch of damage. And Bushwhack does hit hard if you let him get crazy. That Splinter Shot obviously being a big part of it. Plus the Searing Light now going to be very helpful. Up top, Moon Queen here, perhaps in a little bit of trouble. Will go off into the side and pour it away, and definitely the right decision as the rest of the Legion team was collapsing on her. Word of sight here, obviously spotting out the movement. Top tower is actually relatively low. I didn't even realize how low this was. But going to continue to take a little more damage here, a couple more cannon hits, and we'll probably drop below 400 health. A little surprised Parasite just didn't infest it. Concord being attempted here now by the Hellborn team. Pharaoh obviously helping out a lot with the Hellfire. Illusions on Moon Queen up as she has the Geometer's Bane on top of Whispering Elm and Energizer, so Fuzi's starting to get dangerous. And even though Legion side have a 7k gold lead and a 15k experience lead, which puts them in a pretty solid position really, it's a Moon Queen. Bushwhack probably won't outcarry a Moon Queen. I don't think we were really seeing Bushwhack in competitive play, but I don't think he'll outcarry the Moon Queen. I really don't. Not just because I don't think he does enough damage in team fights compared to Moon Queen, also because he doesn't have the same amount of pushing power. I mean, Moon Queen just wrecks bases. Off to the side, Seal Kid getting spotted here by Pebbles. Will he jump in? No, Hanskin's also there, so little too dicey as there's too much support there on the Hellborn side for Pebbles to justify trying to get a pick. And he will instead back off. Looks like there'll be a top tower push instead as the entire Legion team is gearing up for a little bit. Tormented Soul providing some anti-push, but this should be a pretty easily killed top tower. We're 30 minutes into this game, and there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to just drop this thing in a couple of seconds, and there it goes. Hawk providing some vision off to the side here as they're looking to get a secondary tower kill, and they could probably do so. Hellborn in a counter push in middle lane, and if this turns into a base race, Hellborn will win, just because they have the Ophelia Moon Queen. They're going to be able to clear creeps and towers faster than Legion side will. Glyph of Fortification goes off in favor of Hellborn, and mid tower going to drop in their favor as well. There goes top tower. Fort's going to have to come back in as the Fuzi Geometer's Bane illusions are dropped. Impalement coming out from Torture. Glyph of Fortification goes off, but this is still going to be a bunch of tower damage up here. Chessie has no port. Oh, because he came back already. Like, what do you... I was like, what is that? So Hellborn, yeah, they get more than half damage on this base tower off to the side. It looks like Tundra's looking for something with a double damage rune. Gonna come in here as Chessie. Seal Kid in a lot of trouble. Moonbeam ultimate going off as Seal Kid dies immediately. Tundra will take an extra damage, but puts the Shuriken head up. Will drop anyway. Z-Freak gonna be able to finish off Frozen Fan with the mass control. Bushwhack with the Shuriken head looking to get this kill on Fuzi, and he's in a lot of trouble actually. Will drop, takes the token, obviously, as he had the Convor kill earlier, but Z-Freak gonna drop off to the side, and of course Moonbeam. Moon Queen with that token going to come back and clean up here. Chessie trying to get away with a sidestep, but there's a Moonbeam going to help finish him off. One more auto attack. Actually, Swindle off the side going to do stuff. Chessie is going to drop here though, and now Parasite and Pebbles need to be concerned. Pharaoh coming out there. There's Moonbeam as well onto Pebbles. Geometer's Bane comes out, and they're going to be able to clean up this Pebbles a little bit. As New, he is able to portal key away. Wrath of Pharaoh not going to hit. Tundra Illusion is here off to the side. And it looks like Hellborn are like, fine, you don't want to do this? We're going to take your base now. So BMG take a pretty strong team fight there, and I think they're going to be able to break racks with this, barring a couple of buyouts. There's the first one from Chessie, and now they're a little less keen on fighting this, it looks like. So they force a buyback from Chessie. They did lose the token in that fight, but Fuzi ended up actually living there. Wrath of Pharaoh and onto the Jensen's. It's like, okay, bit of a waste. But he has a staff, so that's why he's doing that. I like that. I really like Staff the Master on Pharaoh. It makes him so awesome in team fights that last longer than 20 seconds. Having multiple Wrath of the Pharaohs, especially because you initiate most of the time, so it's one of the first spells you put on cooldown, you typically get to use it at least twice in a team fight, and it means it's never, ever on cooldown. You can use it to gank all the time, and it'll never be down if you want to take a team fight right after that. You can use it to gank multiple heroes in a row. You can use it to chase multiple heroes, so you initiate with it first, they get away a little bit, but you can still chase them down. When it comes back up, you can hit it again. I mean, to put a comparison, Swindlemelon Stun is on a 20-second cooldown. So, any Pebble Stun that can get off twice in a team fight, you can get Wrath of the Pharaoh off twice in a team fight. And obviously it did more than that. It gives a larger mana pool to Pharaoh, who is a hero that can suffer from some mana issues. It gives him a little more health. Obviously that's really valuable as well. Armor, obviously really valuable. Hellborn H is going to be stacked here and will be killed by Chessie for the most part. Fuzi getting just one. And And that's a pretty big resource lead that's just been taken by this Legion side. Fuzi off to the side, gonna run away, popping the Energizer, and should be fine. Looks like SG is gonna group up here. Probably could just push this bot tower. Nope, instead gonna bring the creep wave down here. It's a pretty substantial creep wave. Up top, meanwhile, the Seal Kid's pushing top. And as we saw before, this top tower is already a little bit low, so if Seal Kid gets a little adventurous here, little brave, could help push this top tower in. Bot tower falls, and they're gonna have to. They have a port here already, but this is definitely gonna be a top tower kill. The question is, will it be denied? Gotta kill the cannon here, Chessie. Two misses. That was extremely lucky because either of those would have killed that tower. So RNG playing in the Legion's favor. As Invis Parasite off to the side, but the Wrath of the Pharaoh will miss. Torment still goes out, and Z-Freak is just going to port away. Should be alright. And he will be. Off to the side, Parasite looking for jump on Seal Kid. Will get it, as the last couple of hits from the Puzzle Box minions will kill him. And he'll just port away. Thunderhawk going out. Over here will scout both Oath and Pharaoh. Tormented Soul obviously hitting nothing, as the rest of the Legion side has ported away. So nice pick there on Seal Kid, but this top tower should be dead. It is not. Chessie's gold per minute is pretty insane. 550 GPM here. Has 3,800 gold saved up on top of the Shrunken Head, Whispering Helm, and Searing Light. So clearly not going for the Dawnbringer here, as he's picked up the helm. Unless he's planning to swap attack modifiers, which would be really impressive. He could do that. Like I don't have any doubt as to Chessie's ability to do stuff like that. So they take the last outer tower here, actually up on towers, shockingly enough. Although the Hellborn team have picked off this tower to about a third, and this tower to a health, one hit by anybody really will kill that thing. And it's not like they're lacking for push potential, by as we've mentioned several times. I've mentioned several times. Fuzi on bottom, going to start to push down this bot secondary, the only remaining outer tower here for the Legion side, as he's using the Geometer's Bane's illusions to safely do so. Swindle going to come down here and perhaps plant the Creep Wave. Perhaps not. Tower obviously won't fall here to this. The Creep Wave isn't strong enough, but it's got a little too much health. But the rest of the Hellborn team is inside the Legion Woods. And Swindle might have gotten spotted there, maybe not. Fuzi down here for real will help clean this up. And we'll see what happens here. Obviously no token, so if he gets jumped, the Legion side could burst him down and kill him. Off to the side, Wrath of the Pharaoh going to be in here on Tundra, but he's just out.
The Hellborn have destroyed a
Hot Tower
Legion
falls,
tower.
as Fuzi isn't really contested. Wingbow picked up there on Bushwhack, so that'll be pretty impressive.
Unin, I need your aid.
Looks like Parasite's also going for a Shrunken Head. Bit of an interesting item for here. I've never really thought the Shrunken on Parasite is a really great item. Easy, and often just infest something and use that to actually. Shrunken Head pop there. Seal Kid gonna take a ton of damage, but Bushwhack's down a lot of trouble. Wrath of the Pharaoh misses. That's gonna save him. That was coming in the background. Gonna take the Moonbeam and the Moon Queen ultimate going down. Getting eaten a lot by the creeps. Swindle's still gonna die here, so we have a huge team fight going on. Fuzi gonna get dropped actually. Joseph's in a lot of trouble as well. He's gonna die. Wrath of the Pharaoh Barbed Armor going off on the side will pop Chessie, and that's gonna be a 2 for 3 at this point. Looks like Parasite and Hanskin are man fighting. Will be in favor of Hanskin, as this is 4 for 2 now. Wrath of the Pharaoh coming back in. Gonna finish off Parasite, but Pharaoh's still in a lot of trouble. Z-Freak doing a ton of damage here now, out of mana. Is in a lot of trouble actually. Is it not gonna be able to do too much as the Mung Walls go up there. Barbed Armor popped as well. There's the Hellfire. And we'll see if Super KG can turn this around a little bit, as Tundra's not exactly having the most health here, so he needs to be careful. Tormented Soul, one more. Oh my god, there's the Wrath of the Pharaoh to finish him off. So ends up being a 4 for 4, as they had a little too much chase there on KG. Probably should have just left in favor of Hellborn, as they did lose Fuzi relatively early on, but obviously the only hero staying up for the Legion side was that support Z-Freak, and Super KG on the Hellborn side managing to live through the whole fight. So definitely in favor of Hellborn, and this tower will take a little bit more damage before the creeps spawn. Of course, the Hell Cannon providing some nice little attacks. Would somebody just run up here and hit this tower once? Jesus Christ. Male, I haven't heard that name in a long time. This old QSQ team, I think, with Nova, right? So probably a one fight there for Hellborn, and honestly, anything that keeps this game going and lets Fuzi get more and more built up is in their favor, because as good as Bushwhack is farming, I continue to be slightly skeptical, at least slightly skeptical. I don't want to say overtly skeptical, because I don't think that's true. I think that, I mean, Bushwhack's a really good carry, and I've seen him do extremely well before, but anything I haven't seen, I'm a little bit like, is this going to work? And despite the fact that Chessie's massively out farming Fuzi and everybody else in this damn game, really, I mean, 130 GPM higher than the Moon Queen at this point at 40 minutes into a game is really impressive. I mean, we've seen most, I want to say most Moon Queens. If you say, all right, if the game's going to go 40, 45 minutes, you're like, okay, so 500, 600 gold per minute, yeah, that sounds about right. And Fuzi's sitting here at 440, almost 450 now. And this is Fuzi, right? Like, it's not like some random scrub who we're watching. I mean, we've seen Fuzi do some crazy ass stuff. I continue to remain skeptical, just because the Legion side is so full of magical burst damage, and then what? That's what it feels like that, and it feels like in these fights they do get pickoffs early. Like they'll kill Fuzi as like the second or third hero drop, which is great, and then all of a sudden, you know, that a fight that should win them really, you know, a tower at least, ends up being an even trade because they drop all this burst damage onto Fuzi and they have nothing for the rest of the team. So Chessie ends up dying, and then Swindle dies, and then Limp dies. And it's just because the Hellborn side has a little more sustained damage, especially with Joseph Fan on that Madman, who now has a Shrunken Head, going to be a lot harder to kill. And the Brutalizer, so we'll see. Stay off to the side. Wild Hunter can get spotted here, and Sealkin needs to be a little careful. I'm not sure why he feels so ballsy. That's why he's got the Blessing and the Limp coming in here. Puzzlebox minions going off to the side as well. Tundra going to put the ultimate down, and it looks like Parasite's infested something here. Joseph Fan still barely alive. There goes Parasite, finally going to drop. Seal Kid going to drop as well, but so does Jonas Fan. Off to the side, Moonbeam ultimate going down, and they're going to kill Chessie. So Fuzi up here with the Shrunken Head, doing a ton of damage. Z-Freak off to the side, going to put the Stasis Smash on himself. Will survive, actually, just barely. Moonbeam, or Moon Queen off, there goes Z-Freak, finally. I was waiting for him to die, but figuring Fuzi would wait for that. Kongor is back up, so 3 for 2 there in favor of Legion, no doubt. Or Hellborn, sorry. As Fuzi lived and Chessie did not. And this is going to turn into a Kongor kill. Chessie has buyback. Not going to choose to use it though, and Kongor's going to die. So we'll see what Fuzi chooses to drop here. And it is going to be the Steam Staff. Had the Steam Staff for the fight, will just choose to sell it. So we can pick up the token. And you got to be worried here about the Legion side. Fuzi now at 460 gold per minute. Chessie at 583. So I mean, the farm continues to be significantly in favor of Chessie when you go carry versus carry. And the overall resource control is once again in favor of SG. It's Moon Queen, man. Joseph Fan pops a Shrunken Head there. Gonna look for the barrel roll. Has the Basher and Energizer, obviously doing a ton of damage to Pebbles and just gonna kill him. Like, there's nothing Pebbles can do about that. With the Shrunken Head up on Joseph Fan and the Bash once or twice during those auto attacks, having massive attack speed, really. What's Swindle gonna do? Like, nothing. There's nothing he can do about that. He's just gonna die. He can't stun, he can't chuck, he can try to walk away. If he chooses to man fight, it's just gonna result in his death a little bit faster, so. That's what happens. And it's really getting to the point now where we shouldn't even just be talking about Fuzi, we should be talking about Joseph Fan too. Because he's doing a lot of damage, 350 gold per minute. You look at the damage chart here, he's right up there with Fuzi in terms of total hero damage dealt. Chessie obviously at the top. Off to the side, Parasite and Ophelia sort of going at it. Tormented Soul will not spot him. But Energizer gets popped, and nope, Fuzi's just going to kill this creep wave. And look at, that's what Moon Queen does, man, just kills creep waves. So I think they figured, you know, Bushwhack has a similar ability to clear creeps, clear stacks, and maybe for that reason he can compete. And I think that's definitely true, as you can see by the GPM charts. Bushwhack is right up there with Chessie. In fact, or sorry, Bushwhack is right up there with Fuzi, in fact, significantly ahead. the issue is, what does that hero do with that farm? For example, if you gave Glacius the best farming mechanism in the world in place of his aura, would he turn into a good hero? Not really. Because his ultimate still requires him to sit there and channel, so he can't auto-attack during the middle of it. He's got a nice imprisonment that isn't a stun. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's just, it doesn't seem to work. And I'm not really sure why. It's not like his abilities are that bad. As he's not going to be in the middle, he might need to run away. Wrath of the Pharaoh they're going to miss, but if he had jumped there, that could have been real bad. So KG missing the other Wrath of the Pharaoh, as the Ophelia minions are going to get killed pretty easily by Bushwhack there. Going to stop this Hellborn push a little bit, but it looks like they're gearing up to try to take a tower here. Perhaps not. Perhaps just pushing in this Legion team. And so that's where the thing comes in. You know, Moon Queen has the Lunar Blessing, which scales crazy well. The Moonbeam is still useful because it's a stun. Stuns are always great. Geometry's Bang gonna be popped here. Will be an easy kill on the tower. There's Moonbeam on the Bushwhack as well. And now here goes the base. And the Multi-Strike. So between the Multi-Strike, the Lunar Blessing, and the ultimate, she just puts out so much damage. And Bushwhack doesn't seem to be able to compete with that. Glyph going out, and like they're just gonna lose racks here, and what can they do about this? They can burst down Moon Queen if they want to, but she has a token, so she'll come right back and then kill their entire team. If her team doesn't do that before she comes back. So it's just, it doesn't seem like they have enough sustained damage in these team fights. Parasite on top of Pebbles, on top of Z-Freak, is lots of burst damage, and that's great. But when the opposing Moon Queen has a token, you're going to use all that to kill a token, and then Moon Queen's going to come right back and be like, alright, now you have nothing, and I have everything, and now I win. On the other hand, you could just put a Shrunken Head up on Moon Queen and be like, alright, now what are you going to do, bitch? Because all your shit's magical. Vulture are going to get killed there, as Ophelia's running in, buddy. Jumper's Bane getting popped, and like, hello. Swindle going to jump in here on top of Fuzi, doing a bunch of damage. Wrath of the Pharaoh comes in off to the side. Pharaoh going to be very destructive here. Going to try to kill Swindle Melons real fast. Fuzi jumping here off to the side will get dropped, so his token going down. Seal Kid dropped in the background. Z-Freak getting dropped by this Jonas fan though. And Fuzi's getting locked down here despite having the Shrunken Head up. Puts the ultimate down. Going to try to live here. Actually going to fall, as so does KGE. So we're going to have 3 down here for the Hellborn side. They do take racks, but Seal Kid Jonas Fan going to drop Pebbles right there. Now in a lot of trouble himself. Will fall, but we'll see what happens. Hanskin now definitely going to drop, as we got 4 heroes out to the Legion side. So, strong fight back there for the Legion side, actually, and they're going to push down middle. Boozy has a buyback, so does KGE, so I expect both of them to use their buyouts pretty much now. No Shrunken, no Ultimate, but there is Geometer's Bane and Shrunken, and, you know, Whispering Helm and stuff up on Boozy, so they have to buy out now. There's the buyout from both of them, and the Wrath of the Pharaoh in onto 2. Poor coming in as well. Gonna drop him right inside the Pharaoh's ultimate, and that's gonna be easy kill on Minuts. Now, we're gonna see a runaway from Bushwhack, but we'll see if he can actually get out of this. Sheepstick goes off there onto Fuzi, and he'll be able to run away, as who's got that Sheepstick? Is it Tundra? Yeah, it's Tundra. Wow. Nice Sheepstick. Wrath of the Pharaoh not gonna hit anything, as that 20-second cooldown, man. So Legion side aren't able to counter the Mega Creeps for the Super Creeps here from Hellborn, as Moon Queen forced to use a buyout there, but not the biggest deal in the world. And she had so much damage put onto her, so much lockdown. Just a massive issue. The Superior Magic Stone of that Tundra Ultimate is actually seeming to create some issues for Fuzi, as it is obviously going straight through the Shrunken Head, and they're waiting for her to pop her Shrunken before she can use it. Or before they use it, excuse me. So I think she's going to look to farm up her Symbol of Rage here at this point. The Hellborn aren't going to look to take some fights until she has that. Make her a little tankier, perhaps get a second token, and then of course that would also drop bananas. As Pharaoh should be back relatively soon, or sorry, not Pharaoh, Convor should be back relatively soon. To the side, Pharaoh loses when he jumped here. Seal Kid perhaps in some trouble. Going to take the Sheepstick, and you're dead, buddy. Avalanche there, and yep. What's going on down there, helping out in terms of the ability to allow KG to get away. minutes in and the dual carries in Hellborn, and it just feels like... I mean, Legion have a golden experience league. And it's not like they're getting crushed in these team fights. They're winning a few of them. In fact, I'd say they won the last one. Wrath of the Pharaoh here not going to hit Tundra as they were looking for a pick, but they're not going to find it. And yet, I continuously get the feeling Barrel there on Tundra. He gets immediately sheeped, though, as he's now going to be... Jonas Man going to be in a lot of trouble, and he's going to have to pop the Shrunken and try to run away. Has the Rift of Sock available. Bound Eye going to try to scout him out, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to be available once again. He's going to get away. Shrunken not there available anymore, as actually off to the side, we got Chessie on Bushwhack going on KGE, and KGE will fall here, so... interesting. Not sure what he was doing there. Apparently Legion are going to try to use this to take mid-racks, and they could definitely do that. No buyback on KGE. No Shrunken here on Jonas and Fan for 30 seconds, and this could be a bit of a problem. Push it in the front lines, just doing a ton of damage to these towers. Seal Kid off to the side, probably going to get picked once Tundra's like, hey, I have a portal key. Hey, so does Swindle. Seal Kid's like, kill me. Hey, look at me, kill me. Off to the side, Shrunken Head's going off everywhere. Moon Queen ultimate going down. He's trying to kill everybody, and it's not working so well. Myots drops, but there goes Fuzi as well. Fuzi has a buyback. He's going to have to use it. Does so immediately. Ports in. But the rest of the Hellborn side is falling. Hanskin here taking a lot of damage. Fuzi once again coming back, but he has no Shrunken Head, has no Geometer's Bane, and he's just running away. Now he's going to get locked down, and he's dead. And that's a GG well played. And... okay. Okay. Bush new meta. That whole game, it just felt like SG, they were ahead and it felt like they were behind. And I was apparently entirely wrong about that as they ended up taking the win here, 51-16. KG getting picked off there without a buyback made a whole bunch of difference, I suppose. That was interesting. 237 gold per minute on Ophelia, I think, also made a huge difference. But they just beat an Ophelia Moon Queen lineup that did not get punished in a 51-minute game. I'm pretty sure that was nobody was expecting that. Anyway, game 2 here will go to SG, so they go up 2-0 in this series, and we'll move it on to game 3 then. Okay, I'm still surprised. I'm sorry. See ya in the next one.